My wife laughed during our divorce. You really think you are only one? When I said she was my everything, I replied, I did. Then I showed her the private investigator's report, 4 affair partners over 2 years. When she realized she is cooked, I, 36 male, sat across from my wife, 33, in the mediator's office. 7 years of marriage ending in a beige conference room with terrible fluorescent lighting and stale coffee. The mediator was droning on about asset division when my wife interrupted. Can we just skip to the part where I get what I deserve? This is taking forever. I stayed quiet. Let her talk. I mean, we both know this marriage has been dead for years. Let's just split things fairly and move on. The mediator adjusted his glasses. Mister, I think my wife makes a good point, I said calmly. Let's discuss what fair looks like. My wife leaned back in her chair, this smug smile on her face. Finally, some common sense. I've prepared an offer, I said, sliding a folder across the table, based on what I believe is equitable given the circumstances. She opened it, scanned the first page. Her smile got wider. You're offering me the house and keeping the condo? She laughed, actually laughed. Wow, you really loved me, didn't you? Something in my chest tightened. I did. She looked at me like I was pathetic. You really think you're the only one who felt that way? The mediator shifted uncomfortably. What? I said. Come on. You can't be that naive. You think you were the only man who thought I was special? The only one who said I was his everything? She laughed again. God, you're all so predictable. I reached into my briefcase, pulled out a second folder, thicker than the first. You're right, I said quietly. I did think you were my everything. Past tense. Slid the folder across the table. She opened it. Her face went from smug to confused to absolutely white in about 10 seconds. The mediator leaned over. What is this? Private investigator's report, I said. Dated surveillance over the last 8 months. 4 different affair partners over the past 2 years. Dates, times, locations, photographic evidence. My wife's hands started shaking. You had me followed? I had my wife followed, I corrected. When she started coming home at midnight smelling like someone else's cologne. When she started password protecting her phone after 7 years of leaving it unlocked. When she suddenly needed to work late 3 nights a week at a job that never required overtime before. The mediator was flipping through pages. His expression said everything. This is, my wife stammered, this is invasion of privacy. Actually, I said, my lawyer confirmed it's completely legal. No expectation of privacy in public places, vehicles, or hotel parking lots. She slammed the folder shut. I want a different mediator. This is ridiculous. You're trying to make me look bad. I'm showing documentation of marital infidelity, I said evenly, which impacts asset division and spousal support in this state. Quite significantly, actually. The mediator cleared his throat. Mrs., perhaps we should take a break and reconvene when both parties have had time to review this new information with their respective counsel. New information? My wife's voice went shrill. He's been spying on me. This is harassment. It's evidence, I said, collected by a licensed professional, all admissible in court. She stood up, grabbed her purse. We're done here. I'm calling my lawyer. You're not getting away with this. Getting away with what? Documenting your affairs? You manipulative piece of... She stopped herself, looked at the mediator. I'm leaving. This is hostile. She stormed out. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the fake plant in the corner. The mediator looked at me. That was unexpected. For me too, I admitted. The laughing part, I mean, not the affairs, those I knew about. He shuffled the papers. You'll want to provide copies of this to your attorney immediately. Already done. He has the full report. This was the summary version. There's a full version? 63 pages. Timeline, correspondence records, credit card receipts showing hotel stays on days she told me she was visiting her sister. The investigator was thorough. I stood up, gathered my folders. For what it's worth, the mediator said, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've never seen someone look quite that satisfied with themselves before seeing evidence. She thought she was untouchable, I said, thought I was too stupid to figure it out, or too weak to do anything about it. And now? Now she knows different. Update 1. The week after mediation was chaos. My wife called me 36 times the first day. Left voicemails ranging from apologetic to threatening to hysterical. I didn't answer, forwarded everything to my lawyer. Her lawyer called my lawyer, claimed the PI report was obtained through illegal means. My lawyer laughed and sent them the licensing documentation and legal precedent. That shut them up for approximately 6 hours. Then came the entitlement. Her mother showed up at my apartment, pounding on the door at 8 p.m. on a Thursday. "Open this door right now." I checked the peephole. Yep, my mother-in-law, looking absolutely furious. Cracked the door open. "Hi. How dare you humiliate my daughter like this?" "I haven't humiliated anyone. I documented infidelity during divorce proceedings." "You hired someone to stalk her, to take pictures. This is abuse." "It's evidence collection, legal evidence collection." "She made some mistakes. That doesn't give you the right to destroy her reputation." "She destroyed her own reputation by sleeping with 4 different people while married to me." Her face turned red. "Those men took advantage of her. She was vulnerable. You were always working, never home, never paying attention to her needs." I actually laughed at that. Couldn't help it. I was working because she quit her job 2 years ago to find herself. I've been paying all the bills, the mortgage, her car payment, her credit cards, while she was finding herself with 4 different guys. You're twisting this, making yourself the victim. I'm stating facts, documented facts, with timestamps and photographs. She jabbed her finger at me. "You'll regret this. My daughter deserves better than you. She always has. Those men saw what you couldn't, that she's special, that she deserves to be worshipped. Then they can worship her," I said calmly, "through their own bank accounts, not mine." "You cold-hearted." "Good night." I closed the door, locked it, heard her yelling through it for another 5 minutes before she finally left. My phone buzzed. Text from my wife. "We need to talk, please. Just us." I screenshot it, sent it to my lawyer. He replied, "Don't respond." Next morning, her lawyer filed an emergency motion, claimed I was withholding marital funds and restricting her access to financial resources. My lawyer called me, laughing. They're desperate. They know the PI report kills any chance she had of getting spousal support. What'd they file? Motion for immediate temporary support, claiming financial abuse, says you've cut her off and she can't afford basic necessities. She has access to her own bank account, the one I've been depositing money into for 2 years. How much is in there? Last I checked, about $8,000, from the monthly allowance I gave her for personal expenses. Allowance? $1,200 a month, for whatever she wanted, shopping, dinners with friends, spa days, whatever. So she has $8,000 in accessible funds and is claiming poverty? Apparently. He was quiet for a second. This is going to be fun. Send me her bank statements. I emailed them over. My wife had been sloppy. Never thought I'd pull financial records. The bank statements showed withdrawals and charges to restaurants, hotels, shopping, all coinciding with the PI's surveillance dates. My lawyer filed a counter motion, included the bank statements, highlighted the charges that matched up with her affairs, showed she had accessible funds and was spending them on extramarital activities. The hearing was scheduled for the following week. Then the real dirty tricks started. My wife called my parents, told them I'd been abusive throughout our marriage, that she was scared of me, that the PI thing was me stalking her, controlling her, trying to ruin her life because she wanted to leave. My mom called me crying, pleading this isn't true. None of it's true, Mom. She's trying to flip the narrative. She sounded so scared. She's scared of losing the house and spousal support, not of me. I sent my parents copies of the PI report. My dad called back an hour later. Jesus Christ. Yeah, your mother wants to talk to you. My mom got on the phone. I'm sorry, I should have known better. That girl always had a way of playing victim. It's fine, Mom. It's not fine. She tried to make us think our son was abusive. That's not fine. Their point. My wife's sister called next. Tried the friendly approach. Hey, I know things are messy right now. Maybe you two could just talk, work this out? Nothing to work out. We're getting divorced. But she loves you. She made mistakes, yes, but she loves you. She loves my paycheck. That's not fair. 4 affairs over 2 years. That's not love. That's not even a mistake. That's a pattern. People have needs. Maybe if you'd been more attentive. I hung up. The hearing came. My wife showed up in this conservative dress, hair pulled back, minimal makeup, playing the wounded wife card hard. Her lawyer stood up, gave this whole speech about how I'd isolated her, controlled the finances, refused to give her money for basic needs. My lawyer stood up, presented the bank statements, highlighted the $8,000 current balance, highlighted the charges to hotels and restaurants on affair dates. The judge looked at my wife. You're claiming financial hardship while maintaining an $8,000 balance and spending $300 at a time on hotel rooms? Her lawyer tried to spin it. My client's spending patterns are a matter of record, the judge interrupted, and they show no financial hardship whatsoever. Motion denied. My wife's face went red. She whispered something to her lawyer. He shook his head. Outside the courthouse, she cornered me in the parking lot. You're really doing this? You're really going to destroy me over some mistakes? 4 affairs aren't mistakes. I was lonely. You were always at work. I needed attention. So get a hobby, not 4 boyfriends. You're such a self-righteous prick. You think you're perfect? Never claimed to be, but I stayed faithful. That's kind of the bare minimum in marriage. She stepped closer, lowered her voice. You know what? Fine. Take your precious evidence. Take your moral high ground. But you're gonna pay for this. I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. Everyone already knows what kind of person you are, I said. I have photographs. Her jaw clenched. We're not done. Yeah, I said. We are. Update 2. My wife's campaign to destroy my reputation hit full throttle. She started with our mutual friends, sent them all messages about how I'd been emotionally unavailable throughout our marriage, how she'd tried everything to make it work, how I hired someone to stalk her, how I was now using that illegally obtained evidence to humiliate her. Some people believed her, lost about 5 friends who took her side without asking for mine. Honestly? Good riddance. Real friends ask questions. The ones who actually knew us saw through it immediately. My buddy from college called. Dude, your wife just sent me a 3-paragraph message about your controlling behavior. Want to tell me what's actually going on? I sent him the executive summary of the PI report. Holy crap. Yeah. 4 guys? Over 2 years. And she's trying to paint you as the bad guy? Apparently that's easier than taking responsibility. He was quiet for a second. You doing okay? That question hit harder than expected. Getting there. Need anything? Already got a lawyer and a PI. I'm set. I meant like, you need to get drunk and talk about it? Maybe later. Right now I just need to get through this divorce. My wife escalated. Told her family I'd been hiding money, that I had secret accounts, that I was trying to leave her with nothing. Her father called me. Former military guy, always intimidated me a bit. I'm hearing some concerning things. I'm sure you are. My daughter says you've been squirreling away money. That true? No, sir. All our accounts are documented. My lawyer has complete financial disclosure. Your daughter has access to her personal account with $8,000 in it. She says you gave her an allowance like she was a child. I gave her monthly deposits for personal expenses because she quit her job 2 years ago. $1,200 a month for whatever she wanted. And the affairs? Direct. I appreciated that. Documented. 4 different partners over 2 years. I have dated evidence, photographs, hotel receipts she charged to cards I paid off. He was quiet for a long moment. Send me what you sent your parents. I did. He called back an hour later. I owe you an apology. You were protecting your daughter. I get it. I was, but these pictures, this timeline, she lied to my face. Multiple times. Yeah. Her mother's not going to take this well. Already met her. She showed up at my apartment, called me abusive. He sighed. She's always made excuses for our daughter, always blamed everyone else for her mistakes. I noticed. For what it's worth, you deserved better. Thank you, sir. Meanwhile, my wife tried a new tactic. Filed a motion claiming the house should be hers because she'd been the primary homemaker and deserved to keep the marital home. My lawyer called. Did she do any actual homemaking? Define homemaking. Cooking, cleaning, managing household responsibilities. We had a cleaning service. I did most of the cooking because I got home from work before her. Dates. She mostly watched TV and went out with friends. So her contribution to the household was, honestly, not much. Perfect. Send me the cleaning service receipts and any evidence you did the cooking. I sent him 2 years of cleaning service invoices. Photos from my phone of meals I'd cooked, grocery receipts in my name. Her motion got denied. She tried going after my retirement accounts. claimed she deserved half because she'd supported my career. My lawyer countered with the fact that she'd quit her job voluntarily, not to support my career, but to find herself, and had spent the last 2 years being unfaithful instead of contributing to the household. Then she went nuclear, filed a restraining order request, claimed I'd been threatening her, harassing her, that she feared for her safety. The hearing was brutal. She sat there with fake tears, talking about how I'd followed her, how I'd hired someone to stalk her, how she was terrified of what I might do. My lawyer presented phone records showing I hadn't contacted her except through legal channels. Security footage from my apartment building showing her mother banging on my door and yelling, not the other way around. The PI's professional credentials and legal documentation. The judge looked annoyed. "Ma'am, hiring a licensed investigator to document marital infidelity is not harassment. It's legal evidence collection. Do you have any actual evidence that your husband has threatened or harassed you?" Her lawyer fumbled. The psychological impact of being surveilled is not grounds for a restraining order without evidence of actual threats or harassment. Request denied. My wife stood up. "This is unbelievable. He's been stalking me. He hired someone to follow me around." The judge's expression went cold. "Ma'am, I suggest you stop making false allegations in my courtroom. Filing frivolous restraining orders is a serious matter. This case is dismissed." Outside, my wife's lawyer grabbed my lawyer's arm. "Can we talk settlement?" Finally, they offered me keeping the condo, her keeping the house, splitting the retirement accounts 50-50, and her getting 3 years of spousal support at $2,000 a month. My lawyer laughed in his face. "Absolutely not." "What's your counter?" "My client keeps his retirement accounts as separate property, earned through his employment. The house gets sold and proceeds split based on his 80% financial contribution to the mortgage and maintenance. She gets 0 spousal support due to marital infidelity. She keeps her personal account and personal vehicle. That's it. She'll never agree to that." Then we go to trial, where all 4 affairs become public record, where hotel receipts and photographs get entered as evidence, where her unemployed status and financial dependence while conducting multiple affairs gets documented in court transcripts. Her choice. Her lawyer went pale. "I'll discuss it with my client." 3 days later, they came back, willing to negotiate. The final settlement took 2 weeks of back and forth. She fought for every penny, tried to claim the pets were hers. We had 2 cats. I had adoption papers and vet bills in my name. Tried to claim furniture she'd picked out with my credit card. Tried to claim wedding gifts from my family. Eventually, we landed on house gets sold, proceeds split 65-35 in my favor based on mortgage payment records. I keep my retirement accounts. She keeps hers, minimal compared to mine. I keep the condo. She keeps her car, that I paid off. She gets $800 a month spousal support for 1 year. My lawyer explained the judge might award some support regardless, so we negotiated down from her request of 3 years at $2,000 a month. I keep the cats. Each keeps personal belongings and accounts. It cost me about $40,000 more than just walking away would have. Between the legal fees, $12,000, the PI, $5,500, and giving her any spousal support at all, $9,600 over the year. Plus, I lost 35% of the house proceeds. But watching her face when she realized she wasn't getting the house, wasn't getting half my retirement, wasn't getting long-term support, worth every penny. The day we signed the final papers, she tried one last manipulation. "You know, this is just because you couldn't handle that I needed more than you could give, right? Those men understood me in ways you never could." I looked at her, really looked at her. This woman I'd loved for 7 years, who I'd supported, provided for, built a life with. "You're absolutely right," I said. She blinked, surprised. "What?" "They understood you. They understood exactly what you are. Someone who uses people, who takes what she wants and justifies it however she needs to. They understood that perfectly. That's not. The difference is they didn't care. Because they weren't married to you. They didn't have anything to lose. They were just having fun with someone else's wife." Her face went red. "But yeah, they understood you better than I did, because I actually thought you had integrity. Turns out I was wrong." I signed the last page. Slid it across the table. She grabbed it. "You're going to regret this. When you're alone and miserable, you'll regret letting me go. I'm already happier than I've been in 2 years. You'll never find anyone like me." God, I hope not. Final update. The divorce finalized 6 weeks ago. The house sold fast. Good market, nice neighborhood. My 65% came out to about $112,000 after closing costs and paying off the remaining mortgage. Her 35% was around $60,000. Heard through mutual friends she burned through most of it in 3 months. New apartment, expensive. New wardrobe, unnecessary. And apparently trying to invest in her friend's essential oils business. Yikes. The spousal support runs out in 8 months. She called my lawyer last week asking if I'd consider extending it. He laughed and said no. She's apparently working now. Retail job at a department store. Making about $32,000 a year. Her mother's been supplementing her rent. The 4 affair partners? All ghosts now. Turns out they were interested in the married woman with a stable life, not the divorced woman who needs actual financial and emotional support. One of them, the one she'd been seeing the longest, tried to contact me on social media. Wanted to apologize and explain. I blocked him. Don't need his explanations. My wife's sister called a few weeks ago. Tried to tell me my ex-wife was really struggling and learning from her mistakes. That's unfortunate, I said. Don't you care at all? Not particularly. She's your wife. Ex-wife. Very ex. You used to love her. I used to trust her too. People change. Situations change. She hung up on me. My life now? Quiet. Different. Better in ways I didn't expect. The condo feels like mine for the first time. I repainted, got new furniture. The cats are thriving without the tension. Work's going well. Got a promotion last month, the one I'd been grinding for while my wife was out finding herself. The raise more than covers what I'm paying in spousal support. Started seeing someone new. Nothing serious yet. Met her at a friend's dinner party. She's a tax attorney, divorced 2 years ago, no kids. We've been on 6 dates. She knows about my situation. Didn't run screaming. Last week she asked about my ex-wife. Are you worried she'll try to cause problems? She might, I admitted. But there's not much she can do. The divorce is final, the settlement is signed. Do you still have feelings for her? I thought about that. Really thought about it. I have feelings about what happened, about being lied to for 2 years, about wasting time on someone who didn't value what we had. But feelings for her specifically? No. That person I married doesn't exist anymore. Maybe she never did. She nodded. That's honest. Only way I know how to be. We've been taking things slow, learning each other. Building something on actual honesty instead of assumptions and blind trust. My ex-wife texted me last week from a new number. I know you hate me, but I need you to know I'm sorry. I messed up everything, and I see that now. I stared at it for a while, thought about responding, thought about closure, thought about forgiveness. Then I blocked the number and deleted the message. Some things don't need closure, they just need to end. The private investigator sent me a final invoice last month, additional charges for court appearances and testimony prep we ended up not needing. Attached was a note. Glad I could help. You deserved better than what she was doing. Hope you find it. I paid the invoice, sent back a thank you, because he was right. I did deserve better. And now I have the chance to find it. My buddy from college called yesterday. How you holding up? Good. Actually good. Yeah, it's weird. I thought I'd be more messed up about this. 7 years of marriage ending, finding out about the affairs, all of it. But mostly I just feel relieved, like I was carrying around this weight I didn't even realize was there until it was gone. That's healthy, man. Is it? Hell yeah, you found out the truth, dealt with it, and moved on. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Maybe he's right. The final court documents came in the mail. Official dissolution of marriage. Legal proof it's over. I filed them in a folder. Put the folder in a drawer. Closed the drawer. That's where they belong. In the past. Filed away. My ex-wife's mother sent me a Facebook message. I don't know how she found my account since I'd blocked her. I hope you're proud of yourself. You destroyed my daughter's life. She's struggling to survive while you're living comfortably. You should be ashamed. I screenshot it, sent it to my lawyer, just for the record in case she tries anything else. He replied, good call. But she won't. She knows she lost. This is just noise. He was probably right. The thing about betrayal, the real lasting damage, isn't the pain. Pain fades. It's the clarity that comes after. I see now what I missed before. The signs I ignored, the excuses I accepted, the boundaries I let slide because I thought love meant being understanding. Love doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean accepting disrespect. It doesn't mean staying with someone who treats you like a backup plan. 7 years felt like a waste when I first found out. Now I see it as education. Expensive education, sure. But I learned what I won't tolerate, what I deserve, what real partnership should look like. And honestly, I'm grateful for that. The cats are curled up on the couch next to me. My phone shows a text from the tax attorney asking if I want to grab dinner this weekend. My condo is quiet and peaceful. My ex-wife is somewhere dealing with the consequences of her choices. And I'm here, building something better. That's not revenge. That's just life working exactly like it should.